Welcome back to another episode of the Big Screen Bros podcast. And this time we went, you know what we saw on the big screen? Happiness for Beginners. And then currently it's featured on Netflix, so you can watch it if you want, whenever. Starring the girl from The Office.
I don't know if I would recommend that you do.
Well, we'll get to that part later, bro. But starring the orange-haired girl for The Office. I don't even remember her name on The Office. The ginger one.
Wasn't it Erin?
Erin, yeah. There you go. She was Helen in this one. But yeah, she's the lead in this. And it's about a woman who is very uptight, a school teacher, who is getting a divorce because her husband is bald. And she decides to go on a camping trip. And her stalker follows her. And, you know, being out in nature changes people and your relationships with them.
Yeah, and it has a whole cast of colorful characters, including a gay one.
Maybe three.
I thought that the two guys were gonna hook up. Yeah. Like the guys, but they didn't do. I'm disappointed they didn't have like a little Brokeback Mountain moment.
So let's start from the beginning. This is a romantic comedy, I guess. It had its funny moments. Nothing haha, but you're like, you know?
You know what? I actually thought the menu was funnier. This one wasn't that funny at all, honestly.
What's the menu?
The last week's movie.
Oh, I thought we were in the future and this week.
So we're not allowed to talk about previous episodes? What? Where's this one coming from?
Chaos.
So, yeah, this movie, a woman who just newly divorced, separated and then divorced, trying to take life into her own hands, going on a camping trip. And, like, literally, like, when she shows up at the, I guess, like, the get-together, like, they're hiking 51 miles and however long, and they all meet up at this cabin, and he's like, introduce yourselves. And she talks for hours, literally, about her failed love life, her failed life. Oh, she hates herself. She hates her job. Her brother died, and she feels responsible for it. She caused her parents to get divorced. Her dad literally abandoned them, and her mom followed suit. And she was raised by her grandma, and like it's really killing the mood of the whole place.
Yeah, you know what's funny when they first showed that scene? Like I realized how self-absorbed her character is. She's like, it's all about her and her journey. And everybody else is like, lady, this is just like a hiking trip, you know?
Except for one person.
And then, the stalker shows up, which is no coincidence.
Who happens to be her little brother, not the dead little brother, but the living little brother's best friend.
I would imagine that's why she didn't like him that much, because that it's her little brother's friend.
Have you never... Come on now, let's be honest here. I guess we all have older siblings. But except for Ash, she has none. But you've never been attracted to your siblings' friends? Of course you have.
Sure. But from their perspective, I'm their little brother's friend or whatever. They don't see me with those eyes.
That's called youth.
If they would be... I can't say the word, but you know the word. Because they would be attracted to minors. But... yeah, he probably had a crush on her ever since, because her brother says, like, we've been best friends since 8th grade. In 8th grade, you're like 14, 15. So he probably saw her as...
That's high school. Because you graduate at 18 for a 12th grade. So 18, 17, 16, 15. Maybe you're right. I was 13. I don't know.
You were in the Baby Genius program, so they put you a couple of grades up ahead.
Chaos was teaching the teacher. He was not studying.
Yeah, I wasn't studying. I was sleeping.
Yeah, but the point is that he met her so young that he probably had a crush on her ever since back then. And
I guess an interesting fact about him is not once do we ever hear about him being in any relationship. Like you heard the brother, he was in a relationship. The parents abandoned them, were in a relationship. Grandma was in a relationship.
That brother had a little girlfriend before he drowned.
Yeah. Yeah, but everyone, even the wife or the Helen, sorry, she was separated. That was her relationship. We saw. We never heard anything about him. Now we
Yeah,
heard he had.
we never knew why it quite didn't work out. Why did he cheat on her or something? Why didn't it
Well,
work?
the first time we see him, there is when they're getting married. So this is like 6, 7 years in the past, and as soon as like they're at their wedding reception, and he's like, there's no like emotion between them. He looks at her like they took a picture. Then he looks at her. He's like, "I'll be right back, honey." And he goes out on the dance
Goes
floor.
down.
He's
Yeah,
dancing
goes
with
down,
like
down for, yeah, he dancing with another girl
it was
on
like
his wedding day.
it was like 6 different women.
Yeah, you could tell something was wrong back then.
I even saw the grandma back there, and he was dancing with her. So look, there, and he's bald. We could tell.
Why is that relevant? Wait, hold on. Why
is it being
is the
bald?
fact that he's bald
Okay,
relevant at all?
name every bald character in this movie,
Just one.
and who's the one she disliked the most?
Mike.
Yeah, yeah, that's him. Him. That's the only character she had any problems with. Like the
They
only
didn't say
reason,
what problems. They didn't say what problems they had. They were just
And-
divorced.
obviously, he did cheat on her at one point.
I
She
did
said-
not
but
pay
she's-
attention.
Bro,
to
I'm
it.
she
so
said they-
surprised
she
that
said
he
they
was
were
able to
separated.
Cheat like that kind of man was able to cheat.
Bro,
That's like
I
that
don't
guy
think you-
was just falling on the ground.
Hey,
just
watch
knocking
your language,
himself
bro.
out.
Watch your language, bro.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta watch with the cursing.
Shit.
But yeah,
Come
cut-
on,
cut-
motherfucker.
cut that part. Well, yeah, like I don't think you realize it's so easy to cheat when you're in a relationship. There's something
It
about
is.
somebody that's like I don't know from experience, but it's like something about you see someone that's in a relationship, they just become more attractive. There's something about them.
No, it's not that they. I don't know.
So
Maybe.
do I have to just pretend to be in a relationship and then I'll be attractive?
No, you got to
No,
be in a relationship.
I'll
No,
just
I
look
think
for
it-
imaginary girlfriends and be like, hey, you know my
I think it-
girlfriend,
Like-
she's just
Like in a previous life, I've seen women in relationships, and I was never more attracted to them than when I found out that they were like engaged or something. You know?
bro, you are the worst. You are like you don't find them attractive when they are dating, but as soon as they put the ring on, Chaos is like, oh, she's the one.
Look,
It's the ring. Like Chaos is more attractive. Like a woman becomes attractive the moment they put the ring on.
well, because look, the relationship you formed with them when they're with someone else in a committed relationship, you know, there's no ulterior motives behind it, unless they're into that. There's no ulterior motives behind
Bro,
it.
you're
And
literally gay.
you really
You're
get to know
literally
them.
gay from this
Look.
movie. You're like, oh, you deserve better than him. You deserve. I watch you.
Oh,
From-
well, I'm not speaking from experience, of course, but she did deserve better than him.
Yeah, bro, you probably have that fantasy where the girl's she's going to get married, and you break into the church, and you go like, stop, and she's like, chaos. She doesn't even call you by your name. You call it chaos, and then you're like, don't marry him, Michelle. You know you're the one for me.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. I kick open the door. Don't do it. Husband's like, not this guy again. Look, there's something about it. And now you could also say he's known her his whole life. He's been watching her since he hit puberty, pretty much. In college, he bought her drinks, or she bought him. He paid for all their food, so he saw Sugar Mama. But he was like, I don't need a Sugar Mama. I want to protect you. Like, remember when at one point, she like hits a rock somehow. I don't even know how. She put a
Bro,
backpack
at
on.
the beginning of the field trip. They haven't even started the field trip, and she already harms herself with a rock.
Yeah, she was putting the backpack on, and she like busted her knee open. And then he's like, "Sometimes you need someone to save you." And she's like, "I don't need someone to save me." And all his life, he's been there. All his life, she's been there because she was buying stuff for them, taking care of him. Because even at the end, he was like, "You've always been there for me," and so maybe that's why he became a doctor.
Bro,
He wanted to take care of her, but then he started going blind.
He literally says, "You used to buy me pizza at Chuck E. Cheese with my friends, remember?"
Bro, let's be honest here.
I
He did not even do anything as a doctor. He was just doctor because doctors earn more, and people find doctors to be stable, attractive, caring. So that's all
I
his
mean,
characters were.
look,
Like he
from the
did he
beginning of
do
the
any
movie,
doctor like shit in
yeah,
the whole movie?
yeah.
Just for the
He
sake,
did.
like he even the
So,
jargon he used, like the medical jargon that people throw, like, oh, okay, that
well,
guy's a
it's an
doctor.
important point that he quit being a doctor because he's going blind.
Yeah, you know, I think they probably cancelled his medical license because they're like, bro, you suck. And then
no,
he's like,
you know
okay, so
what?
what do I do? I'll just pretend to be blind.
His problem has an easy solution though. Just wear like a one of those miners hat that had like a light on top of them for the rest of his life. Like he's only blind in the dark, right? If
Bro
the,
didn't even use flashlight. He just sat down and was like, I am blind.
yeah,
And he
that
was
yeah,
lost.
he should have a flashlight with him at all times at his keychain, even a little one. Yeah, because he can avoid that like the condition that he has.
He
He
was
can
like,
get
I
through it.
lost my glasses, I can't see anything. Like, bro, you still got your phone on. And it's easy to fucking
Well,
exactly.
but
turn
no,
on
it's
the
not. It's not that
flashlight.
easy.
And he just
Like,
sat around like a sad little baby. Like, I'm scared.
Yeah, that's-
Who are you? Like when
I
she
mean,
came, he was like, who are you? What are you doing here? Please help me.
I mean, give him a little defense here, guys. It was like he's losing his eyesight, and he lost his glasses. Like he said, he looked like Velma. My glasses, I
Yo,
can't
my
find
man,
my.
that lantern was not even that bright, the one that she brought in. It was just there. It provided
Well,
as much light as.
you know, you know what they say about the orange-haired people.
That
Oh
they
yeah,
have no
speaking
soul.
about orange hair, her haircut in this movie
It was
was so
stylish.
bad, dude. No,
It
dude.
was
It
stylish.
got a little bit better when it was a little bit curly.
No,
Like
when
she
she
looked a little bit
smiled,
better.
her hair looked great.
No, and she looked way too pasty and just not hot at all.
She
Honestly,
she was beautiful. But speaking of looks, like as the movie went on, I really think that the love interest, the best friend, he got better looking. Like that last shot of him in the sunlight on top of that hill, like seeing him turning all around on the hill in the sunlight, he was majestic. Like, from the beginning, I was like, he's a little chubby cheeked. Like, there's nothing crazy about him. It's like a normal dude. But as the movie went on and on, like he got better looking. Everyone
yeah,
else got worse looking.
because you've seen it from the perspective of her, and throughout the movie, he gets better looking for her, and more sexy.
Maybe she's
and
blind
all that.
too. It's just that her eyesight got better towards the end. That's why she could see. Like first, she was seeing him in 144p, and at the end, it was 4K.
Exactly.
But they had a very interesting
No,
relationship into becoming. I guess we should have said spoilers at the beginning, but into becoming a couple, because
but let's talk.
she
Let's
she
talk
really
about.
she really pushed him away. Go ahead.
Oh, we should talk about the cast and the cast of characters that were
So
introduced
we
in the field
have
trip.
we have the camp director who's we assumed his sexuality. We don't know if it's true or not, but he
I
loves
still
boys.
think he swings that way.
Yeah,
But it's
you think
not that, all right?
but he's like a young white kid who never said his age. But he loves camping because his dad took him on a trip, and he's a little weirdo like Ash. But in the while he's hiking, he was a normal person, and he loves the beauty of being tired out there or something. Okay, he's like he ended up he's kind of rocky at the beginning, but he ended up being a good tour guide, I guess, hiking instructor, whatever they were.
He was like bossy, but not bossy. But you don't take him too seriously. You can kind of tell, but it's a bit of a joke
Yeah,
that he's bossy.
but until you need him, then you see, okay, he can do it.
Until he's actually right, and
Yep.
everything that he said happened to that Helen girl. because she's
Except
still
for the
dumb.
bear. Except for the bear.
Yeah, they teased the bear.
Yeah, they
know
could
the
not
bear
afford
showed it.
bear, so they were like, okay, sorry. We don't have the CGI
Look,
for Bear.
they
We used
they
all
had
the
a CG.
CGI money to burn that piece of paper.
Yeah,
So we
I'm
cannot
telling
have the
you.
bear.
I'm telling you, that fire was not real. I'm telling you right now, that fire was not real. Like, that was a CGI fire. They could have afforded a CGI bear.
They didn't use CGI for anything in this movie.
Bro, that fire did not. If anyone's seen the movie, let us know if that fire was real or not. Like, there's one
We
part
haven't
where
even specified which fire. We
There's
haven't
only
even
one.
specified which fire.
There's
We're
only
talking
one
about.
scene.
We're
He
talking
said
about the
when
part
he
where
said he said when he burned the note. There's only one scene where he burns a piece of paper.
Bro, they have fires during the whole movie. They
Do
have
they even?
campfires.
Dude, look, we were seeing it through the blind
Yeah, they
guy's
did.
eyes. The blind guy was literally in the fire because he can't see. Okay. So we had the instructor, and then we had the actual guests. So we had Helen. We talked to. She's the main girl. We had the best friend. He's the doctor, and then we had what's his name? Kyle. Kenny, the big deer, whatever his name is, I don't remember.
Oh, Mason. I think his name
Mason.
was.
Okay, Mason. He looks like your typical jock. He said he's been hiking his whole life. And he's like, you can listen to me. You don't gotta listen to the teacher. And the teacher was like, no, you don't know ish. Be quiet. And it came true. Like Mason, it was a little. He's a big old bag of cats.
No, he's just a big faker. He's just a big faker.
He's a
right?
phony.
He's a
He's a
phony.
phony. When they first introduced him, I thought he was gonna be like a Chad kind of character, and then
he had that
throughout
moment with
movie-
the instructor where we were like, okay, it's like a love interest thing.
Yeah, we thought he might be like
He
some
might
competition.
He might
Some
be.
competition for. Oh, right. But before that, we thought I thought he was gonna be like competition for Jake, because Helen was gonna like him or whatever. But then I thought he was gonna hook up with the guy, and none of it happened. None of that happened.
He was a scaredy cat, but he was in great shape.
No, he was just a guy that was pretending to know everything. You know, he's like a compulsive liar. One of those guys that like, yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I run track. He's like, yeah, I run track too. I used to run it back in high school. He's that kind of guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then you have the Chinese guy. You have the Chinese guy or
Hugh.
Filipino?
Hugh.
Yeah. Huge. I liked him. He was all right.
Yeah, so he's a actor, a gay actor.
Yeah. He's like the
Who's
gay friend.
he's a big boy. So, but he's hiking to try to feel something in his life for once, and for
prove to himself that he could do it.
Spoiler: he breaks his leg not following the rules.
Spoiler: he breaks his leg and dies.
Almost, literally. And then we have the glasses girl who took a vow of silence, who keeps breaking that vow of silence. You have
we have the Mex girl. I think she was Latina.
She's black. She was full on
I know
African
my
American.
people. She has no Latina in her.
None. Like she's just kind of pompous. She's like a know-it-all, trying to like forcing herself on all people. I didn't like her to begin with, but she kind of grew on us towards the end. I think because she's like one of those people that forces their own thoughts onto you, but she wasn't forcing it.
She was forcing, but not forcing.
Yeah, you know what we mean. She's like a
She was sneaky.
I thought I knew what.
She was sneaky.
She wasn't.
She was unbearable from the beginning. She's like, I'm a 26-year-old psychologist who does these kind of things for fun. Now, every day I say 3 things that make me happy that day.
Yo, my man, she was a psychologist, but she could not read that the main guy likes the girl and not her.
Yeah.
That means
love isn't easy. Love isn't easy to understand, man. It's not easy to understand love, man. You'll understand one day. Maybe.
She kind of backed off. I thought she was going to be competition for Helen because she liked Jake.
I mean,
but she backed off pretty quickly.
She was. But then we found out her and best friend kissed, but it was because of Truth or Dare. And then pretty much he was like, "She's not my type. I got a girl at home that I've been watching since I was 6." And
She
then
wasn't 6 in 8th grade, bro. Do the math. It doesn't add up.
she's a pretty smart English teacher. I don't know. She could have been. She's not a math teacher.
I
She
forgot.
was studying to be a geography teacher, though. She could read maps, and none of those people could.
I forgot the name of the Latina girl though.
That's the one where this. It was Doomsday.
Her name was,
Doomsday.
I think, Janet.
Or her nickname was Doomsday. Look,
Yeah, I think that was Doomsday.
Her name
Yeah,
was Janet.
one of the-
Janet.
why do you care about her name?
Mackenzie.
Why do you care about her name? First of all, she was an unbearable character.
She wasn't that unbearable, but one of the parts that she played in the movie, she's the one that make her realize that Jake is kind of a catch.
Man.
She's like, oh, he's cute, and he's a doctor, and I want to kiss him, and then she was like, oh.
I was looking at Google and she's not even there, even though she has been for like almost the whole movie. Her name is not even listed. Let me look
No?
at IMDb.
She's unbearable. That's why.
Wendy, her name is.
She's not
Wendy.
unbearable.
And
We
her
all
name
just
is
know
Siobhan
that
Webster.
you-
Yeah, she is not Latina. She is. Chaos is right.
I'm
Her
always
name
right.
is Siobhan
So-
Webster.
And then we had the typical. She looked like she's a hippie, white, blonde-haired girl who actually is like a
Scared of
venture
woods.
capitalist,
Yo,
Yeah.
scared
But-
of woods. You forgot the scared of woods thing.
but she's also like a millionaire who just takes these adventures for a little break. She just goes on random trips. But she looks crazy and like a scaredy cat, but she's also the most successful person in it.
To me, she doesn't look crazy. She just looks high. You know,
Oh,
she
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like she eats edibles
Yeah, she
all the
does.
time.
And she doesn't wear deodorant.
Right, which
That's normal.
I don't know if I'm okay with that. I don't know.
A lot of people who grew up in third world countries don't wear deodorant.
I know, but I don't know why. It's so easy and so
Ash.
cheap to get it.
Ash,
Yeah, but the way the cast interacted with each other is like, even at the first day, they were all like best friends. They
Well,
all had kind of like,
no. Remember, the one main thing is none of them were really shy. Everyone was talkative, including Helen. Even though she was angry, they were talkative people. It's not like
Yeah,
any
and
of them were quiet, except for
and
Helen.
this is supposed to be like a hiking trip, but it's like an introspective psychological trip for some reason. It
Well,
wasn't supposed to be that. It was just to be like
It
a hiking
was,
trip.
but hiking is different for people because they're, like I said, this is a hiking/camping trip. They're hiking 51 miles, so they're sleeping.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
but
woods.
they treated it like a
So-
spiritual quest or something.
Have you never met woods people? Like the whole thing with the instructor, he was saying, "This is a different world. How much it will change
Let
you.
me ask you
The woods are
something.
different."
Let me ask you something, Chaos. You went skydiving, didn't you?
Yeah,
When you went skydiving, it was like a spiritual quest of like when you talk to everybody and you explain your whole life to everybody, and everybody became friends, and they were all cheering for you, and you fell in love in the
I didn't-
airplane with some girl.
I didn't talk
Did
to
any
them.
of that shit happen to you? Or
I
was
didn't
it just
talk.
like
Look, first of
So-
all, I didn't talk to them. I was there for business.
Exactly.
I chose my music for my video. I actually have the USB right here. I've seen it like once. But yeah, I chose my music for my video. We got the instructions. I was jumping from the highest peak, so everyone was gone like way before I even had a chance to talk to them. And then, I just jumped.
Yeah, my point is, you treated it like it was supposed to be. You were going to go
But that was
skydiving.
like an hour. That wasn't days. I wasn't spending days with people.
I guess. I mean, I would bond, and don't get me wrong. If I went into like a hiking trip like this one, I would try to bond with everybody. But I wouldn't be sharing my whole life story.
Plus,
Just
you remember, like you said, what happens in the woods stays in the woods. Like the odds of you seeing these people again, like none of them exchange phone numbers or anything. So like the odds of actually seeing any of them again, very low. So you get to talk to people, and they even had their like, who's your woodland crush? Like they were all there for the same reason. Like everyone was hitting on the best friend.
It was the only him and the other guy were the only choices only.
Yeah, and the glasses girl. Like she wasn't speaking, but something about her.
Yeah, and throughout the whole movie, I guess they become friends through the hiking trip. It lasted a couple of days because you can see them in
And
the.
they had a near death experience, and they kind of had to unite to save someone's life. That will
Oh
bring
yeah,
people together.
yeah. That's when I realized that all of them were super dumb. Where he was like
So,
going over that log, and obviously that log looked rotten. The guy started
so
having.
there was a
He's a,
specific point when they started hiking that the instructor said, "Do not walk on logs because they can be old and break, and you can
And
get
they
hurt."
jumped on log. The
And
first
this
thing they did
dude,
was they saw a log and they
yeah.
jumped on it.
So they were, so Helen was looking at the map, and he turns around, not helping even look to see where they are, and just walks on a log, and his foot cracks through it because it was hollow. And we don't know if his leg snapped or whatever, but he
no,
gets knocked out.
dude. Okay, here's okay. If you think about the logistic of that situation, actually, they 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 just made it 10 times worse because he fell into the log, right?
Yeah.
And he fell front to the front, right?
Well, he was
Because he
concussed. He was concussed immediately. Like
no no
he
no
felt what he was saying.
and the point is instead of like trying to help him get back up and get his feet out of the log, they
Well,
just turn him to the side. They
they're
just
not
turn him to
doc-
the
So they said they read the book or whatever. I don't know what it said, but there's something about it. So we're gonna assume it said to leave him there, but he was unconscious and his face was laying on his. I don't know. They needed a doctor, but the doctor was with the fast people. But when the doctor gets there, he said, "You did a good job, Helen, just like I taught you in third grade." But yeah, like the doctor agreed she did the right thing. Like it's tough. Like if you don't have medical training, it's tough to say what to do. But I would have left him. But I also don't know if the wood didn't look like it stabbed him, but they said his leg broke. So I don't really know.
They said that he
Yeah.
was just flying upside down.
So I don't really know, but I felt like they managed, even though the dumb big deer guy was like crying in the corner, the girls managed to flip him over, and he ended up being okay. Plus, he was getting clammy, so that would have affected his skin if he had stayed on it. So they would have had to move him eventually. Personally, I've seen like that 27-hour movies where the guy was stuck in a rock. Should have cut his foot off. Bandaged it, tied it up. You can make a little fire, burn it. He'll be fine.
Yo, why you cutting foot off for this thing, huh? Bro, what the hell is wrong with you? That's the
I
worst.
I saw 27 hours.
Yeah, that was completely different situation than this. And then
Not
there was
really.
a,
He was stuck. He was stuck in the tree.
here
It was over. It
he
was over
was
like a little
alone.
creek.
Here they had people.
But he was alone too.
Nah, he
Was-
had people. That's why he was on the floor.
They had a knife. That's all I'm saying. Remember?
You had a knife doesn't mean you have to use it. You're like, okay, time to use the knife. Hey, bro, you ready to lose the leg? Why? Because I want to use my knife, man. I was waiting for this moment all my life.
You see, that would have been the perfect time for the bear to appear.
But they could not afford the bear, so bear was like, I ain't coming. You ain't gonna sign me.
How expensive is it to make
CGI bear?
a CGI bear?
I don't know, man. They overcharge for everything, so I don't know.
That's why we're on strike.
Those are writers' strike, completely different.
Right after he got injured, the Helen girl went back to the because they got split up for some reason.
So the instructor said they were going to do an experiment for the day. All your fast hikers together and all your slow hikers are together. So the instructor said, we're going to have a group full of the fast people. We thought it was going to be 4-4, but it was 3 fast people and 5 slow people. But he had a Mason. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think he was
Mason-
testing Mason. I think they
Yeah.
put him in the group to test him.
So Mason would be with the slow people because he was already fast, so that could help him.
No, and he's supposed to be already an expert because
Yeah.
that's what he pretended to
Yeah.
be.
So the fast people, they're gone. And then we get to the slow people, and pretty much they're lost, first of all, because Hugh doesn't know how to read a map. And Helen figured it out. And then while Helen's figuring out that Hugh can't read a map, Hugh goes and breaks his leg. Mason, he sees Hugh fall. He starts crying, getting naked. He's like shaking, like, oh, I don't know what to do. The blonde hair girl and the glasses girl still vows silence. Blonde hair girl, she comes over to help, and along with Helen, and Helen takes charge. And eventually, Helen's like, "We gotta go get help."
Situation. She goes back to the other group. Yeah.
She tells them take shift sleeping, so someone's always with you. I'm gonna go get the other group, and when they get to the other group, she's like, "Hugh's dead," and he's like, "Okay, we'll wait till morning to go because one of you's blind, maybe." So go take a nap, we'll sleep, and then we'll do this in the morning. So here's the thing with the sleeping situation. They only had 2 tents. So I assumed it'd be the 2 guys and the 2 girls. But it was the instructor and the African American girl. And then you had the best friend / stalker and Helen. And oh my gosh. What a night
that's what she
in
opened
that
up.
tent.
That's what she opened. She totally killed the mood because he was totally going to hit on her, I assume. And then she's talking about her parents' divorce and her dead little brother, and she just killed the mood.
And before they actually split up in the groups, he gave her a note. So her note, she dropped a paper, and the instructor set it on fire, fake fire, first of all. And then he handed her a note, and he said, "Read this if I don't make it." She's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing. Don't read it now." And then, so when she goes to their camp, they're in the tent together, and he's telling her everything about anything about her life. She murdered her little brother. She caused her dad to abandon them. Her mother became a druggie, dumped her off with the grandma, and left after they got divorced because of her. And yeah, like she hates her little brother who's alive.
She wanted to kill them both, but she couldn't. She could only get one.
Pretty much, honestly. And then the stalker is just like, "That's funny. I hate him too."
Yeah, he's like, "That's funny. I can't see at night." Well, good night. And then they just fell asleep.
He doesn't even close his eyes because he can't see. It's already dark for him. Yeah, so they have this intimate moment. Then they argue a little, but it's like, we're going to sleep. We got to get up in the morning. And
yeah, because throughout the relationship that they're building up is that the guy, he's always there for her, and you can kind of tell that he's madly in love with her. It's so obvious. But to her perspective, she's always fighting him back. She's always looking for something wrong, for something. How do I say it? For a reason not to like him, right? She's counting her reasons not to like him. She's like, you got the savior complex, right? You're my little brother's friend. Jesus Christ, dude, I'm stuck. My English is gone to hell. Fuck. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that she throughout the whole movie, she's trying to find reasons not to like him. And then you have the black girl that likes him, and then she starts to. Everybody around them is like, "Oh yeah, he's the hottest guy in the group," and she's like, okay, so maybe he is kind of hot." And then she starts to slowly realize he's kind of like a catch. You know what I mean? But she's trying to like fight against it. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to like him. I would say.
But yeah, at the same time, she did kind of explain it. She's like, "That's my little brother who I hate's best friend. I can't fluff him all night. It'd be weird." And pretty much everyone around her who finds out about this, everyone knows she likes him too. But everyone says to her the same thing, like, "It's okay." Yo, bleep that, man. Yo. But they're like, "Yo, it's okay. Like, you're adults. Who cares? He's not a kid anymore."
Right.
So he opened up about he's going blind, and he can't see whales anymore. Very emotional stuff. So they go save the other group. And the instructor's like, wow, you told me you were the person who in charge, Helen. I love you. And then they get into a van and they go and finish their hiking trip. Like Hugh's gone and Hugh's like, go love that boy. I know you like him. So they go back to hiking, and this is like the end of the hike. So like he got injured towards like the last 10 miles maybe. So he didn't see the view, but they went to this ugly swamp. But it looked amazing from like the hundreds of feet in the air. It looked amazing.
Yeah, that's actually the only part of the movie that I thought the scenery looked pretty. But at the beginning, it was all like a hike, a bunch of dead trees. I'm like, okay, this is not exciting.
Hey, good thing they didn't step on those dead trees.
Except that one guy that died.
And Helen. But yeah, like, so there's some moments in this last scene. You really see the instructor, he opens up to Helen because, like, he trusts her more now, especially after all that's happened. He says a little bit about his history. He was brought to the woods to hike by his dad, and he just loves it. He always felt at home there. Because he's autistic, right?
I don't know if we can say that.
So yeah, he opens up to Helen more. He talks about how they're in the woods. So he opens. Oh, I cut that. Let's do it again. So he opens up to Helen more, and they're just talking, and he's telling about how he grew up in the woods hiking with his dad, and he always felt at home there because he didn't feel right with like in the normal world at school and stuff. He didn't feel like he had friends there, but when he's in the woods, he felt normal because he's a little different.
Dude, you know what? I saw a movie. I forgot the name of it, but it's a dad that lives with his daughter, and he lives with his daughter. She's like, I don't know, like 4 or 5, and the problem his dad has is that he has to live outdoors. He has to be like a nomad. He has to live in the woods outside from society. Like,
I think I've seen this movie. I think I've seen it. They live in a tree or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the girl's raised in that environment, but she's never been raised in like a city and all that. But
and she escapes. And he tells her there's no people alive.
No. There's people alive, and they go to town for supplies and everything. But the thing I'm trying to say is that there are people out there that don't want to live in like big cities. They want to live like like hermits, as outcasters in the woods.
There's nothing wrong with that. Unless
they're killers.
Unless they're killers.
I mean, the Unabomber was that way. So maybe there is something wrong with that. But
that's just one case, maybe 2. Okay.
That's true. We shouldn't judge everybody by the Unabomber.
People do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. If that's your thing.
Yeah, the guy is like a woodsy guy. Kind of. I've seen that type before.
And he enjoys people seeing his world. And you really get more like the whole group. Besides that, nothing really happens out there. I guess. Nothing else really happens.
It's a journey for her, the main character, because gradually she becomes more responsible, more self-aware.
She smiles.
No, she starts bonding with the whole group, and she becomes more.
And we see that,
and
this is when we see Homeboy in the woods crying because he can't see and it's nighttime.
Yeah, that's when she finds him,
and she saves him, and she's like, "Now we're even."
Yeah, like.
And he's like, "It's hereditary," and she's like, "That sucks for you."
But we are even. I don't care for your disease, but I'm happy that we are even now.
So yeah, that's the end of the trip. So they leave. They all get back on the bus. They go back and they have this award for like the best camper. We're all saying it's Helen. Like Hugh or the what's his name? Big Deer, whatever his name was. He was useless. The blonde girl was pretty useless, but she got better towards the end. The black girl was pretty useless. The glasses girl, she was pretty mute. Hugh was obviously
nobody
in the hospital.
did anything.
The doctor, he got lost, literally. So Helen should be the obvious vote for the winner. So they announced the winners. Here's the thing. Everyone said they voted for Helen except for Big Deer. He said he voted for Hugh. And then we read the votes. Hugh won. Hugh literally was useless.
It's a
Let's be
pity vote.
honest.
It was a pity vote, all right, because he broke his leg or whatever. So
Yeah, but
they
he
voted for
didn't
him.
do anything. He got them blocks. He couldn't even read a map.
I know, he was awful.
Like, we all know Helen should have won. They agreed to. Like, even the instructor voted for Helen. And he was like a hard butt from the beginning. But, they all agreed Helen should have been the one to win. And they all doing their goodbyes and stuff. And then at one point, like, Mason, that's his name? I keep forgetting his name and I remember his name. He's like,
Yeah, it is my...
Helen, he said he has a girl at home. Not once does Helen think that the girl at home is her. So she's like, I'm leaving this party. She doesn't even say goodbye. But then the stalker boyfriend walks out, or best friend walks out. He's like, where are you going? He's like, she starts tearing up. I gotta go. I can't stay here anymore. And then all the girls come out like, you're leaving? Oh no. And they do their hugs goodbye. And she looks at him. She drives off. She goes back to her. First of all, we didn't mention her grandma is a queen.
Yeah, her grandma...
What's her name, Ash? Like,
Gigi?
she's the grandma. Yeah, no, her name. The actress.
Let me check. What?
She's in that. She's got a really obvious face. Like, you've seen her.
Yeah, I've seen her in a bunch of other movies.
Blythe Danner.
Oh, Blythe.
Oh yeah, of course her.
She
I
was
like
a star.
how you went like, oh, of course her. She was in Meet the Fockers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly her. I totally knew her name.
She was the not the Fockers grandma, but the other grandma. Yeah, she's a star. So yeah, she goes back to her house, and Blythe is like, I see you're different. You're smiling. Your hair looks great now. You don't look crazy, and it's okay to follow.
Literally everybody knows you're in love with that guy. Everybody knows that except you. You're stupid.
Even the waiter who has never seen you knows that. Oh, yeah, they are together. They're hitting.
So then the little brother who's not dead comes over, and they have like a serious talk. And she's like, "I'm sorry for the way I've been treating you. I think that we can kind of restart our relationship." And he's like, "Girl, you've always been there for me. I would love for us to reset this." And she's like, "In the woods, we had to pick who our person was." There was a specific scene where she said who her person was. She said it was her dead brother because she felt responsible for his death. And she lies to her little brother who's alive and says, what my person was, we had to choose our person, the person that we're always thinking about. My person was you. And the little brother, he blushed, he was getting teary-eyed, and he looked at her, and he started crying. He was like, "You were always my person." And we all called her out on that. She lied to him.
I think they both lied to each other because I don't think
he seems kind of like ditzy. I don't know.
No, he's just playing along, bro. He's like, whatever you say, it's sister. Okay.
But he's real fun. He seems like a fun-loving person, so he wouldn't do that. Like
I never seen that actor. I never seen that actor before. Like
90% of these people I ain't seen, bro. So yeah,
that's true. That's true. I never seen most of these people.
So it turns out Gigi's having a party with her on-again, off-again boyfriend, who may or may not be a pimp. So they go to the party. This dude walks in. He's got his jacket. He's got one of those like Italian hats tilted to the side, cigar next to his mouth, and he's like doing a slow walk strut with her. And then they start dancing. And then her and her brother start dancing. And then her brother, he like disappears. And then in comes the best friend. And he's like, "Hey, it's me." And so she finally read his note and he stole someone's poem. I don't know. And he
copy-pasted a poem. He copy-pasted a poem and it worked.
Yeah, and she was like, "I know you can't see, but I see you." So they start making.
She didn't say that. She didn't say that. She should have said that. That would have been great.
So they're like, "This is it," and they start making out heavy, and then everyone around them disappears. All the music stops playing. It's just the two of them there. Then they stop making out, and they start making out again, and then everyone appears. And then the grandma comes, and she's like, "Oh yeah!" And then the brother comes, and he's like, "I knew it. You've been telling me since we were 7 you wanted to f my sister. Get it, bro." And happily ever after.
Yeah, why is the brother so happy that his best friend is getting to do her sister? Like, yeah, you get to do it now. Like,
He
what?
never liked his sister, so he's like, okay, just do it.
I'm pretty sure he went off to like the bathroom and snorted something. Like,
Yeah, I think
He
that
was
guy
happy.
is
He was
high on
happy.
antidepressants. He's high on antidepressants. Like, he took a little bit too much. That's why he's always chilled in the movie.
and then like they do like, so that's pretty much the end of the movie. The two of them are together. We don't hear anything about. Oh yeah, so it ends with like, it shows the instructor in the woods saying, like, whatever his thing was, like, "Are you ready for the hike or whatever?" I don't remember. He was saying whatever.
No,
And then-
it was probably like, listen up, people.
yeah, something. Yeah, and I thought we'd see like her back there like a year later with him with the boyfriend, but no, it was just him saying it.
Yeah,
And then
it's...
the movie ended. So it was an interesting.
I didn't like that movie at all.
You know, I think one thing we were talking about during it, it had the Lifetime Hallmark vibes, but it wasn't as good as a Lifetime Hallmark movie.
like that's not a good thing,
No, what are you talking about? Look, I love Lifetime movies.
Yeah, but it's not even that. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
good as those Lifetime. Because Lifetime movies, like, they are not good,
You got the-
but they
you
are,
got the-
feel good, so
Yeah,
you'll be alright.
yeah.
Like, you can just watch them and be like, ah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
okay.
and
But
they
this
had,
movie failed to be okay.
like they had the big name actress, the girl from the Office, Erin, whatever her real name is, we don't care. It had her, and then you had the love interest who was some random person.
Right,
Okay.
I didn't know him. I haven't seen him in anything else either.
But and while the story was confusing, like she kept hating him. Usually, like in Lifetime Hallmark movies, the love interest sparks early.
And
And then
there
something
is
comes.
no hatred involved. There's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, people usually don't realize that what they are feeling is love. And
Yeah.
at the end, they realize that the care and the feeling that they have for someone is love. Like, those are the hallmark vibe. This is like,
This was
I hate you for no reason. And then it was like, I love you for everything. It just went completely flipped. And just like, all it needed for them to realize their feeling was just
Saving
the camp getting
someone's
over
life.
and one like just a little talk in the tent. That's all.
Yep. Finding out the black girl likes him,
Yeah.
and the Asian guy who's also gay saying go for him. And then the grandma saying, "We know you love him. Go for him."
And you know what's the funny part? Like, the guy was saying as if like these two have been going at it for like centuries. Like, he knew about their relationship as if like it was
Yeah, I
evident.
wish-
like
I
it was
wish-
written in the book. Like, on this date, these two people will meet each other, and your job as a human being, your purpose in life would be to make them realize their feelings for each other. So
I
you
wish
would
we-
step on a log and break your leg, and while you're being escorted out of the camp, you will tell them that go for it, girl, go for that.
I wish we had that poem that he read.
That plagiarized
That poem, yeah, because it was like what you were saying. Like, he's known her for centuries.
Yeah.
Bro. Did you actually listen to that poem? That poem was kind of insulting. That poem was like, I love you, even
I
though
found it.
nobody,
I
even
found
though
it.
nobody said notices you.
Oh,
Like,
I found the poem. I found the poem. Okay. I don't love you as if you were a rose of salt topaz or arrow of carnations that propagate fire. I love you as one loves certain obscure things, secretly, between the shadow and the soul.
Yeah, that's
He's
super
kinks.
insulting.
He's basically
Well,
calling her a kink. Like, you
Well,
cannot
he's
tell
saying-
your-
he's-
Exactly.
No, he's-
Like, I didn't tell my friends about you, or we can hook up.
I'm ashamed
Well,
to
he's
like
saying-
you, but I do like you. I cannot accept it in
he's saying-
public that I like you, but I do like you.
He's saying he's been loving her in secret since they met. Okay, he's been stalking her.
Sure.
Second part. I love you as a plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hidden within itself.
So a dead
And
plant,
thanks
Yeah.
to your
basically.
love,
Again, another
the tight
insult.
aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. That's
What?
sweet. I see y'all shouldn't interrupt till I'm done, okay? Let me start over.
It
I
wasn't
love
sweet.
you. I love you as a plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hid within itself. And thanks to your love, the tight aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. He's saying she smells good, bro. That's sweet.
No,
Nah,
he's basically
he
cutting it
he
an
is
ugly.
saying that you are a dead. You are a dead tree, and because you
Bro.
were not taking anything and were giving me the shade, I was able to get all the nutrients and I could live. That's what
Bro,
it's telling.
because you know how plants love light and
Yeah,
water? Well, this plant isn't growing because he's saying he's still stuck. But he
yeah,
loves
because
her
it's got
like
a dead
plants love
body above
light.
it. Like it cannot go
Bro,
above because
bro.
that
It's still
dead
it's just
carcass
stuck.
of a tree
Okay,
is stopping it
the
from
last
growing.
part. The last part. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not nor are you. So close that your hands upon my chest is mine. So close that your eyes close with my dreams. Oh, he wants to F her.
Yeah.
Bro, listen. Poetry never works. Poetry stopped
It
working a long
It
time
did
ago.
this time. If he had read her a poem
No,
in the tent, let's say this would have been a completely different movie if he had read that poem to her in the tent.
it works because it's in a movie. It doesn't work in real life at all. Poetry
Bro,
just doesn't work
bro,
anymore.
you probably weren't plagiarizing poems though. You were probably writing your own trash.
Bro,
We know you're
I was writing my own
exactly.
poems. Yeah, that's true.
Look, man, you're the musician, but not the writer. Okay,
I am a pretty good writer too, so go to hell.
I love you like the rice I throw at you when it's
Come on, bro.
undercooked. Cut that part out, please. Oh my gosh. Y'all can see what I'm saying right now. Yeah, he plagiarized that whole poem and she liked it. And it's a
You know,
way
another
to his words for her to understand. Because he's going blind.
these people were really so useless. Like every one of them were
But
just
this is all
useless.
everyone's first time camping except for the instructor
I
and
think
Mason.
Ash said they would get lost like in a garden, right? Something like that. I think they would get lost like in the garden section of Home Depot.
Look, I would like to
That's
see you
stupid.
two do better. I would like to see you two do better.
Bro, I would do better. All
I
right,
have
I wouldn't
done
have.
better, bro. I went on a trail, didn't even get lost, didn't even use the map.
How did you hurt your ankle?
That was because I was drunk. Completely different thing.
Ash, let me tell you something. I've been drunk, and I've been upstairs drunk, and I haven't sprained anything, buddy.
I've
Like,
never just fallen over drunk, okay? Never in my life. I sit
Also,
down.
Bro, we saw you. We saw you completely fell apart in the stream. Okay, don't.
I
don't
was sitting
act like
down. I was sitting down.
You puked. You just completely.
You didn't see me.
bro. And you
You
were
didn't see me
you didn't
puke.
even
I
drink
puked off
that
to the
much.
side.
That's the thing. You didn't even drink that much.
Oh, that bottle was gone, bro. When I woke up in the morning, that bottle was gone. Just
Yeah,
a little
because
bit after mine.
you probably dropped the bottle and it just leaked, and you thought,
No,
oh,
it
why
was
is
right
there
here.
so much vomit?
Like
It-
right here next to my camera. That's where I keep my stuff. The bottle was there when I woke up, where I left it. The cap was off.
Because we saw you just completely tear yourself apart. You were just out, bro. You were just out. And we were like, okay, let's end the stream because this dude is out cold.
I was out right here, bro. Yo, cut that part out, bro. But yeah, like I'd say, this movie, it wasn't as good as a Lifetime Hallmark movie. Those are tough to top.
This movie was
But
bad.
it was okay. I'd say this movie was okay. So what would you give this rating out of 10, Ash?
4.5 out of 10.
What about you, Rock?
I would give it a 4 out of 10 too.
I am respectful. I saw True Love. Blooms from Chaos. I'd give it a 9.7 out of 10.
Okay,
I
nah.
can't say that with a straight face. Sorry, I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10. It was better than
Really?
It was better than the Transformers movie that came out this year.
It was better than the Aquafina movie that we saw, that's for sure.
Which
Farewell.
one? We've seen a lot, bro. We've seen a lot.
No, we saw a good one.
It
which
was
is the one that I
definitely
brought.
better than Reinfeld. I'll say that.
So yeah, I'd say we all think this was pretty meh.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to like dramatic, what's it called? Romantic comedies. Most of them are like this. You know what I mean? They're very predictable.
Have you seen The Notebook?
You made us
What
watch it.
do you
I
want?
saw it.
What do you want?
I wanted to shoot myself when I watched that.
They're somewhat predictable. This one, The Notebook, is obviously better than this one, but
But the
This-
thing was that Notebook was from an old time where like this thing would work. Like,
No,
nowadays
you can
we are
tell-
in 2023. You are supposed to at least have something new. Like if you're taking something old, at least execute it. Well, this just completely failed to do that.
When have you seen a hiking movie about love and divorce?
I think it executed it well enough for a romantic comedy. Honestly, it's just
Plus,
not.
There was
And
no
the act-
comedy, man. Where was the comedy? Where was the comedy?
That's true. There was barely any comedy, but that's the genre of the movie.
Yeah. Plus, you could say the actors. No offense, the ones I recognize, they ain't about that acting life. Like top tier acting. I'm
The
sure they
main
could
guy
if
is
they
not
wanted
even an
to.
actor. He's a musician.
Is the blonde girl a musician too? Because she was singing. This guy didn't even.
Bro,
sing.
you can be an actor that plays an instrument. What? It's not like you only have one talent in this world.
You can't be an actor that plays an instrument. Have you seen Taylor Swift act? Yeah, I'm going after Taylor Swift. She can't act. But like Demi Lovato, she can act. Selena
Bro.
Gomez, incredible actress.
You
Lady
can
Gaga is pretty mid. People hype up
J-Lo?
Lady Gaga all the time. She's not that good of an actress. She
J-Lo?
can sing. J-Lo is terrible. Or both. But she can dance.
No, I like J-Lo as an actress, not as a musician. Although her songs are not bad, I guess. I don't hate them.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that she got. She's still Jenny from the block.
This movie overall is, like I said, it's pretty
Pretty
weak,
meh.
but
It's meh.
at points in the movie, I was like, I want to stop watching this. I did feel that when I was watching.
Not
Yeah,
once.
at some points I felt that, but I plowed through it. But so I don't know.
Y'all don't understand love. That's all. One day.
I've seen better romantic comedies. This one is very forgettable.